Okay, so we're going to start with some of our combo move warm-ups. So I'm going to have you start with your legs out super wide. We're going to do one windmill, one side lunge, one side lunge. So after you do windmill to each side, we're going to side lunge, touch to the inside, all the way back up, side lunge, touch to the inside, and then windmill again. Keeping the legs straight, then side lunge, touch to the inside, side lunge, touch to the inside. So that way we're stretching up the back of the legs and the inner thighs, all in one move. Then side lunge inside. Starting to just ease into this warm up. Perfect. Sticking that butt back, keeping the weight back in your heels. We're going to do one more of each. One windmill, one side lunge, and one side lunge. And we're going to bring those feet a little bit closer together. We're going to come to squats. So we're just going to go on normal squats, hands at prayer. Focusing on keeping the weight back in those heels. Really squeezing the glutes at the top as we draw the belly button in. So we're sitting in a chair. Inhaling as we lower. Exhaling as we lift. Awesome. Last 5. 3. 2. And then we're going to go into some monkey squats. This is going to be kind of like the one we did on Monday. So I'm going to have you hold on to your toes. We're going to pull on those toes. We're going to sit down nice and low. We're going to straighten the legs all the way. As we straighten those legs, try to keep your back nice and flat. Pushing your hips back. You should feel like you're stretching the back of your legs. Perfect. The more you can pull on the feet, the more of a stretch you might feel in the upper back and shoulders. We're going to try 2 more here, sitting and standing. And then slowly roll up. And then we're going to go into our monster kick. So we're going to do one monster kick, one knee pull, one monster kick. Starting to stretch out again the back of those legs. Then engaging the core as we pull that knee up. Working a little bit on balance. Rebalancing some today. Awesome. Kick. And knee pull. We're going to do 2 more of each. One more monster kick. And then one more knee pull. And then we're going to go into butt kickers. So if you're ready to start that higher pace butt kick, bring those feet back nice and quick. Heels to booty. Engaging your core to keep yourself upright. If you need to slow this down, you can always step side to side. Pulling one foot back at a time. Engaging your hamstrings. And bringing those heels back to butt. So we're going to stay here last 10 seconds. And also pretend just like you're running down the street. Getting a nice stretch in the front of those legs. Every time we kick back. We got 3, 2. Then we're going to go into our side shuffle Heisman. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, knee up. 1, 2, 3, knee up. Heisman. Just a nice little shuffle to the side. Working on that lateral movement. So warming up in our cardio. Perfect. You can always travel a little more if you have more room. Stay nice and light in those toes. Last 4, 3, 2, and stay where you are. And reach those arms out super long. Then we're going to circle backwards. You want to imagine almost like you're touching the opposite sides of the room. Really lengthening across the biceps in the front of those shoulders. And those circles backwards, you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the chest. I'm starting to just warm up the shoulders in general. Sometimes just holding them up does work. We're going to try a couple more backwards. Perfect. Now we're going to keep the arms extended out. Now we're going to turn those circles forward. Awesome. So reaching those arms out nice and long. Nice circles, warming up the front of the shoulders. Keep breathing. We got 3, 2, and then quads. We're gonna bring one leg back behind your butt, starting our first balance. Doing our best to hold at the ankle, keeping those knees together, slightly thrusting the hips forward. So get a nice stretch along the front of that leg. Awesome, then we're gonna release that leg, switch it over to the other side. Doing our best to grab up at that ankle. Slight butt squeeze on that side that you have up to help bring that hip forward a little bit. Really stretching out the front of the groin. Awesome, then our last two, we're gonna come down onto our runner's lunge. So then we start reaching upwards. We're gonna keep the front leg bent, that back leg as straight as we can. As we reach up, really do your best to try to keep that back hip falling downwards. You should feel a nice stretch along the hip flexor. And then we're gonna bring it down towards the inside of your forward leg. And we're gonna rotate towards your forward bent leg, getting that nice rotation in your torso. You may feel a little bit of a stretch along that outer hip. Then bring it back to the middle, rotate away from that forward bent leg. Doing your best to press that, back that shoulder into your inner thigh. Reaching up for the ceiling to open up in that chest. Then we're going to come back down to the ground, drop your back knee all the way. Then we're going to straighten out your front leg to stretch out your hamstrings. Let's try to reach both hands for your feet. You already have your band out and you need to use your band. You can always use your band around your toe. You should feel a nice stretch all the way along the back of the leg, especially as you do your best to push your hip back behind you. And then we're going to bring that leg back, switch it to the other side for your runner's lunge. Again, starting with the arms reaching up towards the sky. Keeping that back leg as straight as you can, letting that hip drop down. So you get a nice stretch along that hip flexor and your psoas. And then I'm going to have you come down towards the inside of that foot. You're going to rotate towards your forward bent leg. First getting that nice rotation. Just take a few deep breaths in here as you rotate. Then we're going to bring it back to the middle. Rotate away from that forward bent leg. Bring the back of the shoulder towards the inside of that knee. Awesome. And so reaching up for the ceiling, opening up in that chest. Then I'm going to have you kind of come down to the floor, drop that back knee. Last hamstring stretch. Keeping that leg extended straight out in front of you. Pushing that hip back behind you. As we pull those toes in towards your face. Should feel a big stretch all the way down that leg. Just imagine you're trying to bring your chest down towards your knees. And that will help you intensify the stretch in the hamstring. Awesome. Okay, grab water if you need it. For these first two moves, we're going to be on all fours. Our first one, we're going to start out with bird dog crunch. So I'm going to tell you halfway when to switch. When we set up for this one, you want to make sure that as you reach the opposites out, we're reaching nice and long. We're going to pull elbow towards knee, reach out again, and pull elbow towards knee. We're going to switch to the other side. Then our second move, we're going to set up in a bear hold crawl. So you want to make sure you have a little bit of room. So go all the way back as far as you can. We're going to set up in that bear hold position, meaning stay up on those toes. Just lift up the knees. And we're going to crawl 8 little steps forward, and then 8 little steps backwards. This one's pretty intensive on your core and your thighs, so do your best. So maybe start first with that bird dog crunch. Setting up on opposites in 3, 2, and go. So we're going to reach opposite hand, opposite foot all the way out. Exhale as you crunch knee to elbow. Inhale as you reach and lengthen. Exhale to crunch. Really focusing on kicking back through the heel so you can start to engage those glutes. As you kick the leg back, reaching the arm out nice and long to lengthen in the lats and the shoulders. Try one more on this side. And then we switch. Opposite arm, opposite leg all the way out. Focusing on that balance. Getting yourself grounded. Inhale as we reach. Exhale as we crunch. One side normally feels a little bit easier than the other. We're going to try to make that balance as even as we can. Last 3, 2, and rest. And set up for that bear crawl in 3, 2, and go. So we're just going to barely cover those knees. Tiny little steps through the hands as we step those feet forward. Once you get 8 steps forward, we're going to go 8 steps backwards. Same thing, keeping those knees nice and low. Do your best to keep those hands over those shoulders. And then see if we can call it forward one more time. Only 8. And then after you make those 8 forward, last 8 backwards. 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We're going to set up on your stomach for 2 sets of Superman. For this first set, we're just going to come up for 3 seconds and hold, and then we're going to lower back down. Let's keep all the way up, holding, and then lowering back down. Our second one, we're going to set up for swimmers, so I'll cue you when we get there. In 3, 2, and lift, hold, 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 and lower. And then we lift and hold, 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 and lower. And then we lift and hold, 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 and lower. And then we lift and hold, 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 and lower. And then lift and hold, 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 and lower. Last 2. Lift all the way up, hold, 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 and lower. Last one, hold, 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 and lower. You're going to stay up in that Superman, and then we swim. In your arms and your legs. Doing our best to work through opposites. This one's always a little awkward with coordination. If your shoulders start to get tender, you can always keep your arms pulled back at your sides. Keep your hands in your ears. If you can keep your arms extended long, try to keep them extended long, like you're swimming and reaching across the room. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo. We're going to stretch out that low back, and we set up for one more set of that bird dog crunch. One more time in our bear hold crawl. Setting up on all fours. In 3, 2, and reach those opposites out. Exhale, crunch. Inhale as we reach. Exhale and crunch. Awesome. Staying up on that knee. In that hand, doing our best to keep that hand right under that shoulder. Now it's going to bring elbow towards knee. The tighter you keep your core, the more balanced you'll feel. So imagine you're drawing your belly button in towards your spine. We got 3, 2, and switch. Point to that other hand, other foot. Exhale as we crunch. Inhale as we reach. Reaching nice and long. Reaching back through that heel. Engage those glutes. Perfect. Keep breathing. Last 10 seconds here. You got 3, 2, and rest. And split back for that bear crawl. Last time. Setting up with the knees hovering. And 8 down crawls forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you make it 8 forward, 8 backwards. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me go 8 again. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. In 3, 2, and lift. Hold, 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 and lower. And exhale, lift. Hold, 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 and lower. Exhale on that lift. Hold, 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 and lower. And lift. Hold, 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 and lower. And lift. Hold, hold, hold. Awesome, last one. And lift. Hold, hold, hold. And rest for a second. Last 30 seconds of swimmers. And swim. Bring those hands up, those feet up. Try and stay up on that pelvis and belly button as much as we can. Doing our best to kick opposites, engaging those glutes. Strengthening the low back. Strengthening that upper back. You can always keep the hands back in a row position if you need to. We're so close. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Stretch out that low back if you need to. We're going to roll over onto our back. Now we only have 4 more quarter exercises left. We're going to set up for our first one. We're going to set up for sit-ups. This should be easier than Monday because there's no weight. So for this one, I'm going to have you come all the way up. We're going to reach up, slowly come down. For our second one, we're going to keep our hands underneath our low back. We're going to set up for flutter kicks, just going back and forth. If these start to get easy for you, keep your legs lower towards the ground and flutter in a lower position. After you do those two, then we're going to go into our first set of bridges. So we're going to set up for those sit-ups in 3, 2, and go. We're going to exhale, reach all the way up. Inhale as we lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale and lower. But anytime your neck starts to get tender, you can always keep your hands behind your head for support. It's more important that you feel no pain while you're doing this, rather than trying to push through it. Last 3, 2, and hands underneath that low back. Bringing those legs out at 45 in 3, 2, and kick. Awesome. If this starts to get easy and you want to bring those legs down lower, bring them down towards the floor. Make sure you can draw your belly button in towards your spine. Keeping that low back pressing down. Awesome. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Now if you bend your legs, bring your feet right underneath your knees for a neutral bridge position. We're going to have 30 seconds of just lifting all the way up, let's squeeze, and then right back down to hover. Lifting up, foot squeeze, and then just back down to hover. Awesome. Exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Drawing that belly button in towards our spine. This should start to feel like a nice recovery after the abs. Doing our best to clench those butt cheeks up to the top, bringing those hips up as high as we can. Awesome. Last 5, 3, 2, and keep your hips up as high as you can, touching those glutes. We're going to go into our marching. We're going to bring one leg up, gently set it back down, then bring your other leg up, gently set it back down. So to make sure we're landing the heels super softly. It's going to help us keep that tension in your glutes and your hamstrings. Almost imagine like you're landing your heel onto an eggshell. We're trying our best not to break it. Awesome. So run that belly button in. Last 3, 2, and rest. Lower those hips. And we have one more set of those sit-ups. Setting up with that reach. In 3, 2, and go. Sitting all the way up, belly button in, reaching all the way up for the sky. Inhale to lower. Exhale as we sit up. Awesome. Keep breathing. Almost like you're peeling a sticker up off the floor. Rolling up one vertebra at a time. Use your breath to help you get up. Last 5 seconds, see if we get 2 more in. 3, 2, and rest. Last time in those flutters. Bring the hands underneath the low back. Sitting up with those legs nice and straight. And kick. Awesome, keep breathing. If you are someone that tends to get hip tenderness or hip popping, this is one where you'll want to keep your legs up at 45 to help prevent more of that pull. As you start to get looser, you try bringing the legs down lower and make sure that you can still control this movement and it's not uncomfortable. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. And then last time in our bridges, standing up with the feet about hip width apart, weight the heels, and lift. Exhale, neck up, squeeze. Every time you lift the hips, try your best to imagine like you're bringing your hips all the way up to the sky. And you should feel a little bit of a stretch along the hip flexors and that psoas, especially as you draw that belly button in. Inhale, and exhale. Perfect, keep breathing. Move your hips as high as you can. Butt cheeks clenching from the sides. Last 3, 2, and keep those hips up as high as you can. Last time in that march shape. Bringing one leg up at a time. Slowly and gently set that foot down. As you shift your weight, try to exhale, drawing belly button in still. Really clenching and engaging that butt cheek on the supporting side. Awesome. Keep breathing. Squeezing everything as tight as you can. Try to get a couple more here. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Lower those hips off your knees into your chest before we stand all the way up. And then just roll it back and forth a little bit, stretching out that low back. And then slowly come to standing. Okay, so today we're going to be in somewhat of trisets. Every triset has a 2-sided move, so each side is going to count as one exercise. We're going to have 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. And we're going to go through each one 3 times. So I'm going to show you the first tricep so you know what to expect. For this one, you're only going to need 1 dumbbell. For your frog walk, you have the option, if you want to use weight, you can. If you just want to do body weight, you can just also do body weight. So our frog walk is going to be similar to that bear hold crawl that we did. So we're going to sit nice and low on our squat. We're going to take 8 tiny steps forward and then 8 tiny steps backwards. We're just going to do this for the whole duration of 45 seconds. So you just have to count 8 and 8. Then our second one, we're going to go into wood chops. So this way you'll need only 1 dumbbell. I would say start this out with a lighter one. And if it feels easy enough towards the end, keep that in mind for the next round. You can always go a little heavier. So for this one, you're going to bring the dumbbell to the outside of your knee. You have a slight bend in your knees, keeping your knees soft. You're going to exhale, bring it up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale. As you rotate, you really want to focus on drawing your belly button in super tight. And almost pivoting through the hips, but keeping both feet on the floor. So you should start to feel this in your obliques. After you do 45 seconds on the right, we're going to go 45 seconds up to the left. Then we're going to go back into those frog squat walks. Woo. So we're going to set up first for that low squat. 8 steps forward, 8 steps back. We're going to set up this one in 3, 2, and go. So we got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards. 8, 7, 6. I guess I should have told you left and right is 1, so I guess it's 16 really. You're counting each tiny step. Perfect. Sticking that foot back behind you, belly button pulling in tight. Should be starting to burn your glutes, your quads. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo, stand it up, shake out those legs. We're gonna grab that one weight. Setting up for those wood chops. In 3, 2. We're coming from the outside of the knee. Exhale as you lift. Inhale and exhale. Following the dumbbell with your eyes to help keep your neck neutral and safe. Squeeze that belly button in every time you lift. Exhale as you lift. Let's imagine like it's a ball throw, but throwing up to the side. Also imagine kind of like you're shoveling, throwing something up to the sky. Awesome. Less than 10 seconds left. Focus on drawing that belly button in. 3, 2, and rest. We're going to switch it over to that other side. 45 seconds. And 3, 2, and go. Exhale and inhale. This is where you might notice that one side's a little bit easier than the other. So following the dumbbell with your eyes, keep that upper back and neck neutral. Weight in the heels. Slight knee bend as we come down. And straighten those legs as we come up. Squeezing your butt and your belly button in. Awesome. So imagine like you're throwing it up over the fence. Perfect, keep breathing. Last few seconds here. Let's try to get a couple more. We got 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. I'm gonna drop that weight. So if that felt super easy for you, you can increase the weight for next round. That will start to catch up though, you'll start to feel it in your shoulders too. We're gonna set up that frog walk in 3, 2, and go. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 8 backwards. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. We're already halfway. Still sitting nice and low. Imagine like you're in a chair. You're just rolling around the house. Awesome. So sticking those hips back, belly button in, nice flat back, keeping that chest up. We're so close. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Let's only get more fun. I'm gonna set up for a second set of that wood chop. In 3, 2, and go. From the outside of that knee, exhale as you lift. Inhale and exhale. So it starts to feel nice and fluid. Really drawing the abs in as we lift. Working through those obliques. Still following the dumbbell with our eyes. Toes should be pointed forward. Awesome. Keep breathing. Last 10 seconds. Like we're throwing that dumbbell up to the side. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. And breathe. Setting up on the second side. In 3, 2, and go. From the outside of that knee, up towards the sky. Slight knee bend at the bottom. Straightening those legs, squeezing butt and belly button at the top. Awesome, keep breathing. We're so close. Keep pushing through. You can also imagine like you're golfing. Last 10 seconds here. Inhale and exhale. Belly button tight. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Shake it out. We only have one more round of that frog walk. 8 forward and 8 back. Setting up in that low squat in 3, 2, and go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and backwards. Still leading through the heels. Doing our best to take those tiny steps. The more you can keep your legs bent, the more you're going to start to feel this all along the back of your thighs and the front of your thighs. We're already over halfway. This round's always the most challenging. Awesome. Let's try to get a couple more. Last 10 seconds. Keep pushing that butt back. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. You grab your dumbbell. Last time that will chop on each side. Setting up in 3, 2, and go. Exhale as we lift. Inhale. A little bit of bend as we come down. Imagine you bring the dumbbell to the outside of that knee, then right above that opposite shoulder. So follow your dumbbell with your eyes. Keep that nice neutral spine. Inhale and exhale. Drawing the abs in. Keep breathing. Awesome. Last 10 seconds. Give this last round all you got. 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Deep breaths. We have one more round on this last side. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and go. Exhale and inhale. Awesome. Keep breathing. This looks so good. Holding that belly button in tight as we reach. Sweeping butt back a little bit as we come down to the outside of that knee. Awesome, you got this. We're already halfway. Keep breathing. Got it, last 10 seconds. Stay in it, try to get a few more here. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Okay, grab water. This next one you will need 2 dumbbells that you feel comfortable pressing overhead. And then you're also going to need your band for balance. So if you're on carpet, this is always going to be a little more challenging because balance is always harder when you are on an unstable surface. So do your best. If you have hard floor underneath you, it should be a little bit better. So we're going to start on the right leg. We're going to bring the band underneath your foot. Then go right around the ball of your foot. From here, I'm going to have you try to hold it with both hands. And then we're going to come down into our single leg balance. So as we come down, we're going to keep that opposite leg back. Bring the chest down until your hands come right about below your knee. And then we're going to press up through the heels, but squeeze, come all the way up to standing. Then we're going to do the other side. And then our second move, we're going to set up for Arnold press. I'm going to have you do this one standing today. So we're going to bring the dumbbells in the front of your chest, squeezing the elbows together. Exhale as we press up overhead. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we press up overhead. And then after we finish 45 seconds there, we go back to balance. So we're going to set up with that band underneath that right foot. 45 here. In 3, 2, and go. So bring the chest down towards the floor. Exhale, but squeeze up to the top. We're going to try to keep that belly button drawing in. Back nice and flat. Pushing back through the hip. Balance is always challenging, so if you find something a couple feet in front of you on the ground to stare at, normally it's a little bit easier to keep your focus. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Squeezing butt cheek and belly button in at the top. Last 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We're going to switch it to the other side. If you find that this is too easy and you have multiple bands, you can always lift 2 bands around your foot and hold both of them. We're going to set this one up again in 3, 2, and go. So inhale, come down, exhale, let's squeeze, belly button into standing. Doing our best to balance on that one foot the whole time. Keeping our shoulder blades back as we come down. That's what's going to help you keep a lot more of that control and keep the hands close into the body. Awesome. Foot squeeze, belly button squeeze. You guys are doing so good. Last 10 seconds, see if we can get a couple more. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Okay, we'll set that band to the side. We're going to set up with our dumbbells for our first set of Arnold press. In 3, 2, and go. We're going to exhale, press up overhead, touching the butts of the dumbbells together. Inhale as we touch the opposite ends above our chest. Squeezing the elbows close together. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. You start to feel this in the back of your shoulders and your neck too much. It's helpful if you look up towards the ceiling a little bit, and that will help take some of that tension out of your neck. We want to make sure that we're keeping the glutes slightly engaged to bring those hips forward, just take some of the tension out of your low back. Awesome. See if we can get 2 more in here. We got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Breathe, grab water if you need it, and we set back up for that balance. Setting back up underneath that right foot. In 3, 2, and go. Bring the chest down towards the ground. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we squeeze the right butt cheek. Come to standing. Keeping those shoulder blades back. Upper back nice and strong. Finding one thing to stare at to help you keep your balance. Awesome. Stay in this. We're already halfway. Awesome job on that balance. Keep breathing. Last 10 seconds. See if we can get 1 more in here. We got 3, 2, and rest. I'm going to switch it over to that other foot. Setting up right underneath the back part of the ball of your foot. Shoulder blades back in 3, 2, and go. Inhale as we lower. Exhale on that foot squeeze, belly button in tight. Awesome. Just hinging at the hips, doing our best to keep the core tight, back nice and flat. Think of your foot as a counterbalance to your upper body coming forward. Last 10 seconds here. See if we can get 2 more in. We got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. You want to grab those dumbbells again. Opening up after all of that bending over. Setting this one up. And go. 45 seconds. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Really squeezing those elbows and chest together as we come above the chest and shoulders. Awesome. Keep breathing. We're already halfway there. You should be starting to feel this all on the back of those shoulders. You can look up towards the ceiling a little bit if you're starting to feel this in your upper neck and your traps. Perfect. Last few seconds. See if we get 2 more in here. 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Okay, we only have 1 more round of the balancing with your band. Sticking that butt under your right foot again. Last time here. And 3, 2, and go. Last time, keeping the weight in that heel. Belly button squeezes up to the top. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you come to standing. Perfect. We're already over halfway. You guys are doing so good. Last few seconds on this side. Try to get 2 more in. Last 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We're going to switch it over to that left foot. Last time balancing on this side. Some days it's easier than others. In 3, 2, and go. Big inhale as you reach that leg back. Bring the hands just below that knee. Want to try to keep tension in the band. Keeping the hands in super close to your leg as you come down. Awesome, keep breathing. Weight in that heel. Let's squeeze in, core tight at the top. We're so close, last 10 seconds. Try to get a couple more in here. Leading through the chest. We got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We're done with that band. And then last time in that Arnold press. Setting up this last 45 seconds in 3, 2, and go. We're gonna press all the way up. Inhale as we lower and squeeze. Exhale as we extend up towards the sky. Always touching the butts of the dumbbells together to help make sure that we're staying in a nice fluid motion. Awesome. Keep breathing. We're way over halfway. Good control all the way through. Last 10 seconds. Push through that burn in those shoulders. So keeping core tight, belly button drawing in. 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Grab water if you need it. We have 1 more tricep. This last one, we're going to focus on triceps. So we're going to keep both the weights at kind of like our underarms. We're going to keep our hips back, belly button in, and we're going to go into our tricep kickbacks. When you do this, you want to make sure that we're pushing the back of the dumbbells up towards the sky so we're not getting too wristy. Keeping the elbows in close. Our second 2, we're going to set up for runner's lunge. So now we start on that right leg. We're going to bring ourselves down towards the floor. Then we're going to stay on that one leg, pulling that left knee in over and over, super light in those fingertips. And then we switch to that same thing over on the left. And then we go back to our tricep kickbacks. Last tricep, 45 seconds of each. Set up with those dumbbells at our sides. Setting this one up, weight in those heels. Hips back in 3, 2, and go. So next time, straight back. Inhale as we bring in. Exhale as we extend. You will start to feel this in the back of the shoulders as well. You want to focus on keeping those elbows in nice and close. Almost like we're bringing the back of the dumbbells up towards the ceiling. Keeping our back nice and flat as we draw that belly button in. Almost imagine like you're pushing your butt back to the wall behind you. Keeping the weight of those heels, counterbalance. Keeping that chest forward. Awesome, you got this. We're so close, last 10 seconds. We got 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. Gonna set those weights down. Setting up for our first round of that runner's lunge. We're gonna start this one on your right as well, like we did with the balancing. So we're gonna come down to the floor over that leg, try to keep your leg bent, pointing that heel, and go. So we're just driving that knee in, over and over, almost like a standing mountain climber. 45 seconds will start to be intense for this. So push through that burn. You're gonna start to feel this in your quad. Hopefully a little bit beside that hip and glutes as well. Stay pretty light in those fingertips. Awesome, keep drawing that knee in. We're over halfway. Keep breathing. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. And that leg should be on fire. Let's switch it over to the other side. Setting up on that left heel. Extending that right leg back in 3, 2, and go. Exhale. Every time we drag that knee in, keep breathing. Staying super light in those fingertips. Big knee to chest, knee to chest. Awesome job, you got this. Keep breathing. Pulling that knee in with some power. We're already halfway. Push through that burn in that left leg. Last 10. Woo! You got this. Try to get a couple more. 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Breathe. Shake out those legs. Grab water if you need it. We're going to go back to those triceps. So the second round, you should start to feel a little bit more in the back of your arms. If you would like a challenge, it's always optional. I'll have you come into your tricep extension, do one pulse at the top, and then come back down. So you keep your arms in that extended position, you're going to be working the back of those arms a little bit more. So let's set this one up, and go. Sending all the way back. Little pulse at the top if you want to. If you want to just stick with that full motion, you can skip the pulse. Awesome. Keep breathing. Pushing the hips back, weight of those heels. Nice flat back, belly button in. Last 10 seconds. Try to get a couple more. 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Here's that back up in that runner's lunge on that right leg. In 3, 2, and go. Think nice and light in those fingertips. Think nice, stable right leg. If coming down to the floor starts to be too challenging, you can always keep your hand on your right knee. Just going to be a lot of balance as you continue to pull that knee in. Awesome. You got this. We're so close. We're way over halfway. This is our last 10 seconds. Exhale as you pull that knee in. We got 3, 2, and rest. Hi, Gabby. And we're going to set up on that left side. Bringing that right leg back in 3, 2, and go. It's almost like you're about to sprint, taking off for a race, but you're just stuck in repeat. Awesome job. Keep breathing. Imagine like you're just floating one-sided mountain climbers. Focus on pulling that knee into your chest rather than that stable leg. Awesome, keep breathing, last 10. You guys are doing awesome. We got 3, 2, and rest. Oh, your poor legs. Breathe. We have one more round of those tricep kickbacks. Setting up this last 45-second round in 3, 2, and go. Bring the six back, sending dumbbells all the way back and up. If you liked that pulse from before, still do the double pulse at the top. Keeping those elbows in close, chest forward. Keep breathing. Squeezing shoulder blades back. Awesome. We're way over halfway. Push through that burn. Less than 10 seconds left, so you can get a couple more. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Okay, we only have one more set of runners lunge on each side. We'll get to pull it down. Setting up on that right leg. Toss around here in 3, 2, and go. Drawing the knee in towards chest. Exhale every time we bring that foot in. So keeping the weight in that right heel. You're starting to feel this all along that quad, the front of your leg, hopefully a little bit in the hips and the side as well. We're already over halfway. Last 10 seconds. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Shake that leg out. You only have 1% on the left. Last 45 seconds on this side. In 3, 2, and go. Awesome. So stay nice and light on those fingertips. You can always hold on to the front of your knee if you need to. Driving that knee in towards chest. Staying super light in that back foot. Awesome, you got this. Keep breathing. This is our last exercise. Keep it all you got for these last 15 seconds. Awesome job. Keep breathing. We got 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Breathe. Grab water if you need it. And then I'm going to have you set up in a downward dog. Start to stretch out the back of those legs and your shoulders after all of that shoulder press. So when you're walking down, pushing your hands firmly into the floor. Pushing your hips back in the air. I want you to try to pedal your feet back and forth. Flattening one foot on the ground as we bend the opposite leg. We're going to get a couple pedals in so we can really embrace that stretch in our calves. And then try pushing both heels all the way down on the floor. And if you stick your right leg up in the air, and then drive it underneath through your chest, bring your right foot towards your left hand for pigeon. So once you're here, do your best to settle down into this. You can stay on your hands if you need to. If you're able to come onto your elbows, try bringing your elbows on the ground in front of your shin. If the back hip flexor is a little too tight, you could always turn the back leg so it's at 45 or 90 degrees, and that will help get some of the pull out of your hip. You should feel a nice stretch along the outer thigh, along that right butt cheek. Take one more deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to push ourselves back up into our downward dog. Pressing the hips back in the air. Pedaling those feet back and forth. And then try flashing both feet down to the ground. We're going to keep that left leg up in the air. And drag that leg underneath and through. Bring your left hand towards your right hand. Left goes towards your right hand for pigeon. Come onto the elbows if you can. If your right hip flexor is too tight to keep your leg straight, you can always bend it at 90 degrees. And that will help take some of that pull out of the front of your hip. If you want to keep it straight, you can always keep it tucked under and straight. Just really want to focus on getting that nice stretch along the outer thigh on the left leg, all the way from my T-band to glute. Awesome, and take one more big deep breath in here. Then on your next exhale, press back up into your downward dog. Last time. We're going to do our best to flatten both feet down towards the ground. Push your hands as firmly into the floor as you can, pushing your hips back. And then slowly walk your hands into your feet, your feet into your hands, wherever you're more comfortable. And slowly roll up. Perfect, I'm going to have you do quad stretch again, because we did a lot of legs today. So I'm going to have you grab your ankle with the same hand. And then once you have your balance, if you can, we're going to switch and grab with the opposite hand. And then bring the same hand as the leg that's bouncing up towards the sky. We do our best to keep our knees together, thrust those hips forward, really reach and lengthen like we're trying to touch the ceiling. One more big deep breath in. And then we're going to release that foot. And then switch it to the other side. First grabbing with the same side. And then once you have your balance, switching to the opposite. And then reaching that same hand up for the sky. Remember, just keep those knees together. Hips thrusting forward. Belly button in as we reach up for the sky. That's going to help you lengthen in the torso as well. And then release that hand. Last one, I want you to just bring your arm across your chest, holding just above that elbow, gently pulling above that elbow. You get a nice stretch along the back of the shoulder and the upper back, a little bit in your triceps as well. After the wood chops, the Arnold press, and the tricep kickbacks, your rear delts might be kind of sore. So that's always a good place to foam roll right along the back of that shoulder. And let's reach those arms out nice and long, and then pull that other arm across, holding just above that elbow. Gently pulling a little bit to get a nice stretch along the back of that shoulder. One more deep breath in here. And then release that arm. We're going to do our 3 big deep breaths in as we fold forward. So as we inhale, folding forward for the ground, bring your head and hands down. And then as we exhale, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Backing up the mid-back and top of the low back. Making your head and your shoulders the last thing to come up. We'll take another big deep breath in, hold it forward. And exhale as you roll up. One vertebra at a time. And reaching up to that sky. Last big deep breath in. Hold it forward. And exhale as you slowly roll up. Woo. Awesome job. So you guys have